Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/TrueOffMyChest, where OP's cheating wife doesn't give a rat's ass about their own child. Let's begin. My now ex-wife revealed that she is pregnant with a man she cheated with and no longer wants to see our child. Posted by Reddit user Wasting Rage.
The wife and I have been married for 3 beautiful years. Problem is she doesn't enjoy my hobbies as much as I do. The wife used to happily join me on adventures such as camping or fishing. Now she won't so much as go on a simple hike with me. We have a 7-year-old and since the kiddo, these adventures have been a little tough to plan and follow through with, which I understand, but it can be hard on me. I like to get out at least once a week to clear the mind, but now that's been reduced to around once a month. She is upset every time I leave on a quick trip to the Rockies, etc. because I'm not helping enough with the kid. I've told her numerous times they should both come along, but she never agrees to this as she no longer enjoys those type of things. Should I give up on the sights I love to see and adventures I can't help but indulge in? I do want to be there for my family, but I can't cut these things out of my life forever, but that's what she expects of me. Advice is greatly appreciated. Opus is asked how often his wife gets to leave without the kid. She has girls' weekends/nights out around once a week to every other week. She just doesn't like camping anymore, and she definitely doesn't like me camping either. She for sure does most of the hard work with our child as I have a job, and I greatly appreciate her for it. When she goes out with the ladies, I'm there for the kiddo, and if she needs a break, there I am. It's no problem, I just want to camp more is all. First update. My wife cheated on me and says it's not her fault. This past weekend the kiddo and I went on a 2-day camping trip for some father-son bonding time. My wife doesn't like camping herself at all anymore and doesn't even appreciate our kid and I going. This is a big hobby for me and I want to share with my son. Usually, we argue a lot about my trips, especially if I request to bring our child, but this time she was oddly cooperative about the whole thing, but still insisted she wouldn't join us. I was surprised but didn't question anything because I was so excited that she was finally allowing us to go, and I didn't want her to change her mind. I thought we had finally found a common ground and the arguments were ending. I was wrong. We had a great trip and returned back on Monday. We expected to come home to an empty house, as my wife should have been at her office for a few more hours. I walked the kid up to his room as he was exhausted and ready for a nap. After, I walked into our bedroom to find a naked man in my bed. I recognized him as my wife's coworker, whom I have met numerous times at her work functions. At first, I was in disbelief and even wondered if I was in the right house. Then my wife walked out of our bathroom, also naked, and I had no more doubts. She looked petrified when she saw me. I have never been so angry. I yelled at the dude to get out of my house so I could speak to my wife. He grabbed his clothes and left. Then we started arguing. I never yell at my wife. We always want to keep things civil for our son, but I was so hurt I was screaming. Then my wife decides to get defensive, saying it's not her fault that I am barely around and camp so much, even though I hardly go on trips anymore because she doesn't like it. She says that's what drove me to do this, your neglect to this family. I was in tears at that point. I just don't understand how her cheating could be my fault. When I turned around to leave, my son was standing in the doorway and I felt terrible for yelling. I quickly consoled him, but my wife snapped at me again, telling me to get my hands off him. Now she won't speak to me and says I can't see my child until I apologize. Apologize for what? She said we could go on this trip. She planned to cheat and that kills me. It makes me wonder if she has done this before. I'm stuck staying with my parents right now. I don't know what to do. I want to see my son. I'm worried I really scared my child, and of course I would apologize to him, just not my wife, but maybe it is my fault. TLDR. My wife cheated on me while my son and I were on a camping trip. She says it's my fault for camping too much. Update. I'm back home now. Decided it was best to get here ASAP. Things are quiet, but I'm relieved to be back in the same space as my son. Thank you all for the advice and kind words. It means so much. I'll keep you all updated if you'd like. Second update. This is a follow-up to my last post about my cheating wife. For the past week, I have been working with a lawyer to initiate the process of divorce and gaining full custody of my son, with the exception of visitation for now until more is resolved. Things were awkward and tense for the first few days of me being back home, so my wife, using wife to keep things simple and identities private, decided to leave to stay with the guy I found naked with her. I'm disappointed at the example she's setting for our son, but this makes my decision to divorce even more concrete. I will continue to share as much as I can if that's what people would like, but of course, court has its confidentialities that I must keep within boundaries. I want to thank everyone for the continued support you all have shown me throughout this tough time in my life. I really do appreciate it. Third update. My now ex-wife revealed she is pregnant with a man she cheated with and no longer wants to see our child. This is another and most likely final update about my ex. See my past posts for more information if you'd like. I expected my last update to be the final post regarding my marriage, but this felt like a necessary thing to share. Last week I received several texts from my ex saying she was pregnant with an unknown man's child, obviously meaning she cheated with multiple other people before the one I found out about. She said she plans to keep the baby and start a family with her coworker. Other posts have context. She also mentioned that she wouldn't be fighting me for custody of our son. I told her I would be willing to split the custody, or at least keep visitation rights for the sake of the kiddo, but she insisted she didn't care about that anymore. I am honestly in awe. I'm shocked she has given up on everything about the family we had, but I am most hurt for my son. At the end of the day, she isn't worth wasting any more of my energy on. I have been spending every moment I can with my kid, and will continue to do so. I'm starting to feel more like myself again, and I can't wait to get back into adventures and nature. I'd like to say a final thanks to everyone for the support and encouragement. I will always be grateful for that. Tobias out.
OP, make sure that you get a court-agreed commitment from her to get child support. She can't just walk away and pretend he doesn't exist. Hell no. If you can afford it, OP, hire a lawyer and make sure she signs her parental rights away, because I'm pretty sure that she will be back sooner or later, forcefully taking your child away from you and then suing you for child support. Do not allow that to happen. Do not give her the opportunity. OP, all I can say is, at least for right now, be the best damn father you can be. Your ex-wife practically gave you the biggest head start. Your child is going to need it. He's going to need a strong, reliable, loving father. He needs his father and a lot of therapy. And most likely, you're going to have to explain this to your child at some point. And I suggest that you start right now. Just make sure that you are age appropriate with it. Good luck. And now, for today's second story. She still won't admit to any wrongdoings, and I don't know what to do. Posted by Reddit user Jolly.
For the past few years, my wife of 15 years has been incredibly detached, indifferent, and distant. Her behavior and personality seem to have drastically changed. There are constant arguments over such trivial matters which result in her shouting, screaming, and subsequently not speaking to me for weeks at a time. These behaviors have carried on for the past 5 years, despite me raising the issues on a regular basis. I always felt she wasn't listening and valuing what I had to say. I grew incredibly tired of having the same discussion with her again and again, and realized she was not going to change back to the loving, caring, and affectionate person she used to be. I therefore decided to start cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps people recognize and change the way they process challenging situations. My motivations to do CBT were that I had accepted she was never going to be caring again, and because I was tired of being hurt so often, I wanted to change the way I processed her volatile behavior so that it hurt me less. I used to be so confident, decisive, and in control, but now I have such low self-esteem, anxiety, and feel I don't even recognize the person I was 5 years ago. 6 weeks into the CBT, I felt like it was helping me feel more positive. That is when I discovered she has been cheating on me for the past year, and quite possibly longer. She refuses to admit it despite me having proof, so now I just don't know what to do. I have even said I forgive her and want to work on the marriage, but she continues to deny it. Had it not been for our children, I am fairly certain I would have ended my life by now. I haven't had a proper meal since all this came to light, and I am unable to sleep. Thoughts of suicide seem to be gradually increasing. I have only researched methods once so far, but I am worried I may do something drastic fairly soon.
Dude, do not even have those thoughts in your head. Your wife is not worth it. You are a faithful man. You are a good man. She's unfaithful, a shitty woman. You must remember, dude, she is the problem, not you. So go contact a lawyer and send her packing. Kick her to the streets where she belongs. Sometime in the future, if you're still willing to get into a relationship, I'm pretty sure that there is a wonderful woman out there waiting for you. One that is loyal and one that will love you and will always be there for you. The one you have right now is shit in a toilet that is waiting to be flushed. And it's common courtesy to flush. So go do it. And now for OP's update.
I posted a while ago about my wife's infidelity. D-Day was just over 2 months ago, because all my evidence can be refuted by he said, she said, such as an overheard telephone conversation and her having alternative profiles for social media platforms and compromising selfies that I never actually got sent. She maintains that she has not been unfaithful and that it's all in my head. Although I have maintained no restrictions on her going out with friends, in fact I have encouraged her to carry on living her life, she has refused to go out since D-Day, so hiring a private investigator is pointless right now. The strangest thing is that we went through all those phases of hysterical bonding for several weeks, and now things have gone back to normal where I don't think she gives a crap. I am just really lost about whether I have the strength to carry on with this marriage. We have 2 children, both under 5 years old, and they have a bearing on my decision-making criteria, obviously. Part of me is fairly certain if I were to have a serious conversation with my wife about me not wanting to carry on, then she would be indifferent about it. In fact, she may well be happy to part ways as she hasn't admitted to her infidelity. This may be because the affair hasn't actually ended and she wants to carry on. My thoughts are all over the place. At times I feel like waking away is the easy thing to do, because I really am having a hard time compartmentalizing her behavior towards me. Other times I think staying is the easy option, because I don't want to upset the status quo. This is such a fucked up situation which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. We have so much to be grateful for, and yet she won't even commit to being honest. I guess I just needed to vent. Please feel free to read my last post for context.
OP, I get that you are in a very difficult situation. I understand that. But you already know the solution, dude. You already know that she won't change. You already know that it cannot be saved. You want to stay in the status quo because the next step will be difficult and you're afraid of taking that leap. You know she will continue to lie. You know she will accuse you of shit that you didn't do. But it's like cancer. You can live with it for sure until it kills you slowly. Or you can have the surgery, be in pain for a short while, and then enjoy your life. You have to accept reality, OP, because reality will not change for you. Go talk to a lawyer, get an STD test, prepare yourself. Focus on you and the kids. Your wife can go to hell for all you care. Good luck. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.